What's going on, Pixel Hackers? Christian Lovrecich from PixlFeed here, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to avoid getting your Facebook ads rejected, or even worse, your Facebook ad account completely banned. Or if it already happened, I'm going to show you why it happened and how to fix it. Before we get started, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive right in. So you're frustrated because your ad keeps getting rejected and you can't figure out why. Well, before you run Facebook ads, the first thing that you should know is the policies inside out. I'm amazed at how many people I talk to and they've never even looked at the policies. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go through the advertising policies, how they work, the process that they go through to review your ads and your landing pages and your stores, and what to do in order to get your ad through. And I'm going to explain, if you watch till the end, I'm going to explain what are the most common mistakes that people do and how to avoid them so you don't have any issues whatsoever. So let's get started. So obviously the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to facebook.com policies at prohibited content. And it's going to give you a breakdown of all the advertising policies. So when you get started here, you're going to have an overview or understanding on Facebook policies. The first thing that you're going to see is personal attributes, sexually suggestive content, and using Facebook's brand. These are the biggest ones, and this is going to be the biggest hurdle you're going to have with Facebook when it comes to ads, because they're so PC nowadays that you can make a little suggestion that hints at a personal attribute and they'll ban your ad and sometimes even ban your whole account. You don't want to get your whole account banned. So how does the ad review process works? So basically what Facebook does, once you submit an ad, whether it's an image or a video and your ad copy, believe it or not, the AI actually can scan the video, can scan the picture. It knows what's inside that picture. It actually tags like, this is a TV, this is a human, this is a meme, this is an Xbox or whatever. It knows what's inside that picture or that video. The other thing that it does, it actually listens to a video if you're using a video, and that's how it auto generates the captions, and based on the content of the captions, it's gonna either follow through or not. So this is how they know how the AI decides if it's compliant with policies or not. Now, the AI can be a little touchy sometimes depending on the type of updates they're doing, and it can be wrong. It does happen with the AI, it's wrong. Like for example, I was just running an ad for a real estate program and it kept getting flagged for dating. Explain that to me. So they were doing something that was causing stuff to get flagged. So that's how they do the review process. Not only do they check your ad copy, your picture, your video, they actually send what we call crawlers, or think about bots like in the Matrix, like they go scan what's out there. So they crawl your whole landing page or your website to make sure that your products and your store or your funnel is compliant with policies as well. Okay, so they can read everything on your site. They can scan all the pictures on your site. Like if you have an app like Lucky Orange on a Shopify store, or an app like Hotjar on your funnel, you can actually watch the Facebook. You can see it on analytics. You can see the Facebook bots and crawlers going out when you launch your ad, and you can see how many they send out. That's why your traffic spikes up all of a sudden when you launch a new campaign. They're scanning your whole site for policy. Okay, so obviously if you get disapproved, you're going to get a notification and that on your Facebook account or your ad account that your ad was disapproved. So basically what you have to do is you're going to have to click appeal the ad and then tell them why. So usually what I say, if I know that my ad is compliant, basically what I write is, ad is compliant with Facebook ad policy, please have your human review. They do have a review team, I believe it's in Austin, that if you ask that way, they'll have a human take a look at it most of the time. It doesn't mean you're gonna get approved, but it certainly betters your chances of getting that through. So let's go over what's not allowed on Facebook. So obviously the community standards, it's this stupid, standard stuff like don't be mean to people, don't talk crap about people, don't try to sell illegal products or services. So like anything related to weed, drugs, illegal products like gambling, CBD, even CBD, you can't do CBD. Well, I think they're letting you do CBD depending on what brand you are, but it's really tough to get it through. Tobacco related products, firearms, you can't do that as well. You can do accessories like, like a holster for a firearm or like a targeting range target, but you cannot do, guns themselves, right? Drugs, obviously you can't, you can't sell drugs on Facebook or drug related products, even though Wish gets away with murder. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the reason why Wish gets away with murder in their ads is because the landing page is not the product itself. It's actually to download the app. So that's how they get away with it. Also, when their pictures, they really run a fine line, and they really know how to not cross that fine line, and that's why, and they spend a lot of money. So that's how they get through. Accounts like that, they have an actual representative inside their company. So if you want an example of how to push the boundaries when it comes to your ads without getting rejected, go look at Wish ads in the Facebook ad library. Obviously, I just said it, weapons, ammunition, explosives, don't do that. Adult services, products or services, anything, like porn or anything like that. Adult content, that's the same thing. Third-party infringement, do not try to sell anything that's copyright, trademark, that's pretty obvious. If you don't own the licensing to Star Wars or anything like that, or like football teams, you can't try to sell their stuff. Bands, I see people try to sell band merch. You're gonna get slammed. It's not gonna go through. Or it might get through, but eventually you're gonna get nailed. Sensational content, shocking, sensational, disrespectful, anything that's like fighting or trying to shock people, like shock value, it won't get through. Again, personal attributes, this is the biggest one, and I'm going to go over the details on what to avoid here. Misinformation, fake news. You cannot spread fake news with ads. It's not going to let you. They're going to fact check everything, and it's not going to go through. Controversial, that goes under the same thing. Your functional landing page. So if you're sending them to a landing page or you're sending them to a store, you have to make sure that page is functional. If the button doesn't work, or when you click on the link, it doesn't take you anywhere, your ad will not get approved. Grammar and profanity, again, you cannot, you got to use decent grammar. I know not everybody's an expert when it comes to grammar, but try to do your best. Profanity, it's a no cursing or anything like that. Also, with emojis, you have to be careful with emojis. You can actually get your ad rejected if you use too many emojis on your content. Non-existent functionality, that's basically if you're lying about a product, like let's say you're trying to sell a flying car and you're showing the car flying and you're trying to pass it as real, it's not going to fly. You're going to get rejected. Personal health, this is a big one. I'm going to show you an example. Make sure you watch to the end. Before and after images, you can't promise that you're going to lose weight in 30 days. For example, I'm going to go over the details of that. Payday loans, paycheck advances, bail bonds, you can't promote any of this stuff. Multi-level marketing, this is a tough one because I know people who are trying to do affiliate offers always get nailed for this one. So this one, it comes down to the wording that you use when you're trying to push affiliate products, right? Penny auctions, bidding, any type of auctions like an eBay auction, anything like that, you can't promote that with an ad. Misleading claims, you can't lie about the results from a product, right? So you can't say, hey, if you buy this, you'll lose 100 pounds in 30 days. Like if it's not true, you can't just say that and then be like, results may vary. You can't make promises like that. Low quality content, basically, if it's like, if you create the ad and it goes to a bad landing page, meaning it doesn't load fast, there's a bunch of pop-ups, it looks like something out of 1999, they'll reject that. Facebook looks at your first landing page, and if it doesn't pass that test, your ad will get rejected. So it's not only the ad itself, it's always it could be your funnel and your store as well. So keep that in mind if your ad gets rejected. Pretty self-explanatory. Don't have any spyware or malware. You can't push any virus or anything like that. Automatic animation. This is very important. When you have a funnel, you have a store, and you send them to the landing page, you cannot have the video autoplay If you look at my funnels, none of them autoplay when you land on them. You have to press play. So usually what I do, I put a thumbnail that says click to play. You can't do that. Or music. Remember those days of MySpace? You know, when people land on your page and it was a bunch of music and it would talk forever. That's what they're trying to avoid, right? Circumventing systems, you know, tactics to get around the review process. So if you're like cloaking an account or you're using fake accounts, a redirect. So let's say your link is .com secrets, but when you click on the link, it takes you to expert secrets. You're lying. You're saying that it's going to one, address, but then it reroutes on itself. You can't do that. Don't sell dead bodies. Pretty self-explanatory, right, guys? Restricted content. This is alcohol. This is very, very iffy. So you gotta make sure you comply with all applicable laws. So if you're pushing alcohol, you gotta check the laws on each state. Each state is different. Each country is different. So for example, in the US, you gotta make sure your targeting is 21 and up. Okay, depending on the state, it could be, different. So you gotta look at all the laws, right? This is why your stuff gets rejected. All right. Dating, ads for online dating, you got to get approved by Facebook. If you're not approved by Facebook beforehand by submitting it to them, you're not going to get approved. Gambling, this is a very, very iffy one. I've actually experienced this. I had a client who was from Australia where gambling is legal and their ad account kept getting flagged. You got to make sure you're targeting 18 and up. Again, you got to check the local laws of the country or the state and make sure that you're not pushing the boundaries on your language and what you're promising the results are going to be. You got to be very careful with your language. State lotteries, they may advertise on Facebook, but you got to, target with applicable laws. So you can't discriminate about people. Online pharmacies, you can't sell prescriptions, like if you're trying to sell Xanax or something, you can't do that, but you can run a branded ad like for, I don't know, Valtrex, the Valtrex commercials, like, oh yay, I can ride a bike now. You can do a branded ad, but you can't link them straight to buying the product, right? Over-the-counter drugs, again, it's the same as online pharmacies. It's the same type of stuff. You can't, subscription services, you can run ads for subscription services, but you can't put people in automated subscription that it's lying to them. For example, hey, it's free, and then put in a little fine print. If you don't cancel in 7 days, then we're going to charge you $30 a month no matter what. You can't do that. You will get rejected. Branded content, the content to, what is this? Hold on. Branded content within the ads defined as a creator. You can't steal other people's content, obviously. So you can't run an ad for Coca-Cola for your business. That's basically what it is. Social issues, elections, and politics. You can run ads for politics. Again, it's a very fine line. You got to get pre-approved for it by Facebook. So you got to do that. Cryptocurrency, that's a 50-50. You got to get permission from Facebook again to do that. Addiction treatment, again, it's all about the promises that you put out there. You can't make claims or promises. You got to be very generic about it, and you got to be very careful with the language that you use, because if you talk about personal attributes, you will get rejected. Your ad account could get banned. All right. Cosmetic, this is a big one. Cosmetic, I'm going to go over it when I show you an example. Cosmetic procedures and weight loss. Okay, this is a big one for a lot of people, so I'm going to go over it in a minute. Video ads, disruptive content. Basically, if you're doing like flashing screens that could, give somebody epilepsy or anything like that. If you're showing second, entertainment related restrictions, if you're showing a trailer for a R-rated movie, you can't target people who are 13 to 15 because R-rated is 18 and up. So you got to be careful with that. Targeting, you can't discriminate against race, age, or where they're from. Where they're from. So if you're doing credit related ads or housing related ads, you gotta create what's called a special audience. I've showed this before, in the targeting videos that I've made. Positioning, accuracy, related landing pages, all ad components, including any text, images, media, must be relevant, meaning you can't just have a bunch of random stuff in the ad. The ad has to be for one product or one brand. You can't just have a bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense to each other. You know, they want the Facebook experience to be, it's all about the user experience when it comes to Facebook. The user comes first, the advertiser comes second. Text, ad, and images, excessive text. You cannot do a lot of text on your images. There's a 20% rule, meaning that your image or your video, the text that you use can only take up 20% of the size of the canvas, right? And there's even a tool, if you search it, Facebook, image tool, and it will take you to it. Here, I'll show you. See you later, something like that. Text overlay tool, there it is. You go in here, you can upload your image and it will tell you if you're over or not, low, medium, high. So make sure you use that if you're using images. With video, just make sure you're careful about that. Lead ads. Advertisers will not create lead ad questions or request the following type of information. So you cannot ask people for their account number. So if you're trying to get their bank account, you can't do that. You can't ask them about their criminal history. You can't ask them about financial information. Government issued identifiers. You can't discriminate. Health information. You can't ask if they're sick or disabilities or anything like that. You cannot ask for their insurance information. You cannot ask them for political affiliation, race, religion, sexual orientation. Again, this falls under personal attributes. Trader union, brand assets. This is all copyright and trademarks. People do not use anything that has a copyright or a trademark. Again, perfect example, a company like a Coca-Cola, Star Wars, Disney, you'll get pulled down right away. Data restrictions. You can't get access to the API and steal data from Facebook where you can see each individual and you can pull their data, directly through an app or something like that. That's what they're talking about with Cambridge Analytica, it was called. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so that's the gist. It's a lot to take in, but make sure you read it all. So let's talk about the biggest ones, which is personal attributes. So we go right here into personal attributes, and when you click on it, it's going to give you some examples. Okay, so ads must not contain content that asserts or implies personal attributes. So my example of this, I'm going to break it down in my own example. So you can't say to somebody, hey, we know that you're fat. Why don't you lose some weight today? Use our product. You're talking directly to them. Okay, so the way you get around that is you go, you can say something along the lines like, Karen has been working really hard on her fitness and she actually lost 30 pounds. She was not happy with herself. Notice how I'm using a third person on there and I'm not speaking directly to the person. Okay, so let's go over some of the examples here. So you can't say, another one for skin, a lot of skin products, it's like, hey, you can't say, oh, we know your acne is horrible, so here's the fix for it. Okay, so instead of saying we know your acne is horrible or we know your acne is the worst, you can say something like that. We understand that acne can get in the way or can make people's lives miserable. So we came up with a solution. Notice how I'm not talking directly to them. I'm talking in a generic way that does not talk directly to them. The other thing I'm going to go over is the pictures in a minute, so make sure you watch to the end. So let's go over some examples about personal attributes, right? So examples. Add creative that describes or show the promoted product or service. That's what you want to do. You want to focus on the product or the service. You do not want to focus on the person. Okay? Text reference, that's what I just talked about. Referring to personal attributes or characteristics of the targeted group individual. Again, you can't say, hey, we know that you're a Hispanic. Hey, man, we know that you're from Puerto Rico and being a Hispanic can be tough. So use our service where we will qualify you. No, you can't say that. You can say something like that. Sometimes we know it's tough to get approved for certain things, so come use our product. You can't speak directly to them. All right, so that's pretty self-explanatory. So here's some other examples. So race, meet Hispanic men online now. That's okay if you're doing a dating website about Hispanic men. Okay, find black singles today. Okay, so you can't use the word other. So see how it says using the word other to reference a personal characteristic. So you can't say meet other black singles near you. Why is that? Because that means you're assuming that the person that you're talking to, you think they're black. So they don't want you to assume that you know they're black, right? So if you're, let's say for example, you're targeting African-American interests, you can't speak directly to that person. So you cannot use the word other, meet other black singles near you, because again, you're assuming that the person reading the ad is black and they don't want to freak people out. They don't want you to speak directly to them. Again, very PC. Religion or philosophical beliefs. Examples: date Christian singles. Looking for Buddhists near you? Meet Hindu singles online now. So notice how we're talking about the religion, but we're not speaking directly to the person. So if you say something like, are you Christian? Or meet other Buddhist, I can't even say that. Or are you atheist? You know, are you Jewish? See, you can't talk directly to the person and assume that they're any of them. You got to keep it generic. So you can say, hey, date Jewish singles, date atheist singles. Okay? Looking for Jewish people near you, right? So you can do that way. You're not speaking directly to the person. Again, age. You can't talk about age. So I'm sure you guys are getting the idea here, okay? And then we're going to get into pictures. So meet seniors, right? You can't say meet other seniors. Why is that? Because now you're assuming that the person reading the ad is a senior. So even if you're targeting, let's say 65 and up, you don't want to tell them. Facebook doesn't want you to tell them that. So stay away from that, okay? A service for teens, right? So you're speaking in a very generic, it can be any age. It can be anywhere from 13 to 19. Car insurance from 18 to 24-year-olds. Facebook doesn't want you to tell them that you're targeting certain demographics, okay? Orientation, huge. They're very PC. If you notice Facebook, even their pictures for their own stuff, you can't even tell if they're male or female. They're like gender fluid or gender whatever, which whatever floats your boat, but you know, it's a little ridiculous sometimes. So examples: Atlantis gay cruises. Are you gay? So you can't imply that the person's gay because you're pushing a gay cruise. Pretty self-explanatory. Gay dance clubs. Meet other lesbians now. You don't want to assume that they're lesbian. They could be gender fluid. They can be like, I don't know, straight, lesbian, whatever. I don't know. It's crazy. So gay dating online now. But you're not saying, hey, do you want to do gay dating? You know what I mean? So you get the draft. You can't speak directly. So here we go. Gender identity. Come meet transsexual singles. Questioning your gender identity. So now you're like asking a personal question. They don't want you to ask someone a personal question, right? You don't want to ask somebody if they're, you know, especially if they're going through something like they haven't come out of the closet and they're not secure about it. You don't want to talk directly to them and insult them, basically. Remember, Facebook is about the user experience first, advertising second. Disability, same thing. Bulimia, depression, counseling. Do you have diabetes? Are you fat? Are you bulimic? You can't say that, but you can talk about how help is available for that disease. See how it's not direct? That's what you don't want to do. Financial status. Obviously, you don't want to talk about people's money. So broke, bankrupt, check out our services. Yeah, don't ever call somebody broke or rich. Even the other way, if they're rich, say, hey, are you rich? You know, you can't do that. You can say, hey, we have services available for those that need it, right? See, when you actually break it down and you go through it, it's not that hard to figure out, okay? So criminal record, don't call somebody a convicted felon. So there's that. So now let's go over pictures, okay? I hope this really answers all your questions about that. So let's go over pictures. So before and after pictures. This is what you cannot show on Facebook. You can't show before and after pictures. As soon as you put this in an ad or a landing page, you're gonna get rejected right away. The other thing that you cannot do with before and after pictures is very important. You can't make promises in a short amount of time. You can't set a deadline. So you can say, hey, get ready to lose weight with our product X but you can't say, hey, get ready to lose weight with our product X in less than 30 days, okay? The same applies to money. I see a lot of marketers that are putting like courses out there, affiliate products, and they say, hey, make $10,000 today, or make, get rich in less than 30 days, or get rich in less than 7 days. You can't do that. First of all, you can't even say get rich. So you gotta play with your words, and you gotta assume that you're gonna help them make money. So you can say something instead of ready to get rich. No, you can say something on the landing page along the lines of, we have been helping people better their financial situation with the new training that we put out on that has helped them, triple their income. But you can't see, does that make sense? I'm coming off the top of my head. I'm just trying to explain it to you guys. So you can't put times restrictions. Very important. Don't use these type of images. Affiliate products, you want to stay away from affiliate products using that affiliate link, because a lot of people do bad stuff with affiliate links. And if you use an affiliate link, you're going to get nailed for it. So usually what we want you to do is using that software like ClickFunnels, I have it in plenty of videos, and the links in the description below, where you can create what's called a bridge page. You create a bridge page with your own domain, and after you get their information and they land on the thank you page, then you're allowed to redirect to whatever landing page you want, where let's say it's something from ClickBank. So, let me show you what an affiliate link looks like. So I don't use ClickBank that much, but let's go in here. So let's go to the marketplace, and I'm just gonna pick any product so I can show you what an affiliate link looks like. So you see the affiliate page right here? If I click promote, that's gonna give me an affiliate link, right? So that's called a hub link. See? If you try to use this link by itself on Facebook, you're gonna get flagged, right? Because they already know the domain, and a lot of people do a lot of bad stuff. So even if you click here, you don't want to use your hop link. You want to create a bridge page where they land first, and then you send them here. That's how I use ClickFunnels for a lot of affiliate stuff. All right. Very, very important. Right here, this will never flag. See how they have before and after? This will get flagged right away if this is the landing page that you use on the ad. So you want to have a bridge page. You create a lead magnet with ClickFunnels, right? Where you get their information, and once you get their information, then the thank you page redirects to this funnel, and that's how you make affiliate offers work. And still, you got to be careful with that. So that's what it looks like. All right. So there's that. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to go over is sexually suggestive content in your pictures. So this is also for like your fitness and skin health and clothes, like bikinis and clothing that's very suggesting. So when you're doing the fitness, you're doing bikinis, or you're trying to show off, a product that's for like the skin, or like, for dentists, like Invisalign, where you're trying to show the smile and stuff like that. First of all, you can't show sexually explicit content. So someone that's looking like, giving a blowy, so you can't do that, right? A statue you can do because it's art. So you can get pretty creative with sexually suggestive content if you use food or art, right? It'll fly through. But if you put people, like real people are showing like all of their body like that, you're focusing on the body, it's not gonna get through. So the way to get around this is to actually focus on the product and make the background busy, so the sole focus of the ad is not just the person half naked on there. And obviously this is never gonna fly, right? So don't do that. She's showing her cleavage, you can't show that. For example, if you're trying to pass a skin product, look at my face right now, and like you're showing like this, only this, like a super close up, it's not gonna fly. So bring the picture back, like look at the frame right here in the corner of the video, put it to the side, let's say put it to the side like this, and show the product right here, where I still show the face, me applying the product, but in the big picture of the product here, to take the focus out of the person. Once you do that, your ad will get approved. All right. So very self-explanatory in the images, no sexual explicit content, nothing that's prohibited, like guns, knives, stuff like that. And then a big one that a lot of people miss, they miss a lot, It's privacy terms and conditions, okay? So I pulled up the .com secret funnels, and when you go down, every website should have this that you have, or your landing page. If you look all the way to the bottom, you have terms, support, privacy. So this is all the legal jumbo mumbo that you have to have, right? And you can either have your lawyer write this for you, basically where you're saying, you know, whatever your terms are, you got to have them on there, whether your return policy, everything about the product, whatever data you're collecting, you got to make sure it's all on there. Make sure you tell them, hey, this is not a property. We're not affiliated with Facebook or any type, shape, or form. This is our own business. It has nothing to do with Facebook and the Facebook trademark. That's the ghetto way of saying it, but you want a lawyer to write this for you. I don't care if you use LegalZoom or whatever. Privacy policy is the same thing. You're telling them that you're collecting their data. Basically, you have to let them know. You have to disclose it. If you're running ads in Europe, you have to have GDPR. Make sure that they know that these ads are running in Europe, okay? If not, you're gonna get nailed. If you don't have a lawyer, you can just Google privacy terms and conditions template, and there's a million sites where you can buy a template and then tweak it to whatever works best for you. And that, my friends, is how you avoid getting your Facebook ads rejected, or even worse, your Facebook ads account banned. So if you like this video, let me know in the comments what you like the most. Make sure to check out the links in the description. Please support the channel, what keeps me going, and you should keep going as well. So make sure to click one of the boxes right above me. Keep watching, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video.